And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Saturday. Excuse me while I resize. Let's do a little resize here. Here we go. That looks nice. J-Lash with the thumbs ups. Appreciate you, friend. Thumbs ups to J-Lash. Channel member Dan Constantin Popescu says, greetings from England. Greetings, Dan. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Happy Saturday or happy Sunday for you, my friend. Miko Herptile says, hello, Super Antonio and Sadie. Hello, mods. Howdy, folks. Happy weekend. Happy weekend to you, sir. Welcome. Sadie is over here, fast asleep. She just had her shower. Look, she's looking up. And Turtles says, hi, it's been a while. Greetings, Turtles. How are you? We are focusing on the Iron Gray Ardennes tonight. What's that about?
Can I help you with your horse? I got space for you if you need stable.
It's the pre-order edition free horse.
Good-looking horse there. If you want me to keep that overnight, there's room in the stable.
Sharp Frost says, hi, folks. Greetings, Sharpie. I like your avatar. That looks like a dragon. Are you from the House of the Dragon, Sharp Frost? And Rage 10 says, what chapter are you on, Super Antonio? Chapter 2, mostly. I like to free roam in Chapter 2. Before things get complicated. The only disadvantage of Chapter 2 is Sadie is miserable all the time.
Nice bit of grooming. People
So you really need Chapter 3, you know, to, like, get the good Sadie. You know, she's in her, like, iconic Sadie outfit and she's feeling a little better about herself. But in Chapter 2, she's just sad and crying all the time. What's that about? But pound for pound, I would prefer to stay in at Horseshoe Overlook. I always miss it when I'm not there.
seen quite a few horses coming through with speed.
And the Iron Gray Ardennes is a beast. It's like riding a dinosaur. It's like riding a woolly mammoth. Super brave. Later in the video, we shall do a raid on Hanging Dog Ranch. I was going to say 6 Point Cabin. And Hortus is here. Hortus says, hey there, folks. Greetings, Hort. How are you, friend? Rage 10 says, Super Antonio, what's the best spot for hunting snakes? I want the snake saddle. There's an island, a small island across from Clemens Point. Before you get to the Iguana Island, there's a small little strip or a spit, and it's called, I call it Snake Island, and you will always find a snake swimming there. It's very easy to get with small game arrows. Also up and down the trail north, I'm going to say north of Lake Owanjula on the way to Cougar Country and on the way to the Trapper, you can always find snakes lining that trail. And also you can go to Hanging Dog Ranch, or not Hanging Dog Ranch, forgive me, Dewberry Creek. Dewberry Creek around the mill, is a good place for snakes. Hortus says, I agree, Chapter 2 is peak. Hortus, your peak. And O-Dog, also a channel member and a mod, is here with the channel exclusive Arthur emoticon. Greetings, O-Dog. I hope you're feeling better. Appreciate you, friend. Happy Saturday. Horta says, the road leading north of Oangela is littered with snakes. The small patch of water north of Copperhead Landing has lots of snakes swimming in it, and it's never more than waist high. That's good to know, Hortus. And thank you for answering the question. Hortus likes his snakes with hot sauce. The hotter the better, in case you didn't know. Tomorrow night we're going to debut a new a new series that we are calling Sinister Sundays, where we'll focus on it'll take more of a darker turn. Miko says, hey, dog, and we'll focus on true crime and ghost stories, paranormal stuff, Bigfoot, UFOs, scary movies. And so the format will be I will do a little presentation at first. Probably involve reading the Wikipedia page, and then we shall discuss. So tomorrow is going to be about the serial killer H.H. Holmes, who ironically is from this approximate time period, except he was in Chicago. And he's often referred to as the American Jack the Ripper, and also there are theories, not necessarily a theory, I ascribe to that H.H. Holmes was actually Jack the Ripper. 9 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. Odog says, what's going on, Miko and Super Antonio? I'm doing quite well. Sadie had her bath. I did my workout. I'm feeling strong and powerful. Mama One is here. Everyone say hi to Mama One. Mama One says, hey, everyone. Greetings, Mama One. Sadie's all clean now. She was a little stinky. What's that about? Not stinky. I was calling her stinky because I was teasing her. She didn't like smell bad. She just smelled like an animal. She smelled horsey. She really needed a bath. Papa One says, hey, Super Antonio. Greetings, Papa One. Appreciate you being here. Happy Saturday to you. Odog says, howdy, Mama One and Papa One. Everyone has their call signs. Mama One says, hey, Miko, hi, Odog. Yeah, so she smells a lot better now. I'm very happy. Papa One says, howdy, Odog, and howdy, Miko. I ran her really hard. She's tired. She's a tired girl. We found a new route to run in a circuit, so it's more continuous. And she can tolerate it. You know, it's on grass, so it's not hard on her little paws. And she loves to run. She just gets distracted sometimes. Miko says, hello, Papa One. And Mama One says, hope you're well tonight, everyone. Yes, and I hope you're well as you're well also. Let's get rid of this cougar pelt. It is a poor cougar carcass. That's okay. There's more where that came from. Papa One says, I've been excited for this stream all day long. I love the Iron Gray Ardennes. Well, I'm happy you're here. There are the fetlocks. Note the fetlocks. Same as the Mustang. These things are just giant Mustangs. And they seem like woolly mammoths. They're just huge. Huge and prehistoric. Rage 10 says, Super Antonio, how old are you, by the way? I am old enough to make YouTube videos. And this year, old enough to become president of the United States. What was I going to say? The Ardennes have a fine history as a warhorse. The Roman army used them, and they're pretty much used in every European conflict up to and including World War I. They were a cavalry horse. The Prussians used them. They're they've got a great track record of service. Odog says giant slow Mustangs. And Odog says, though Mustangs aren't punks, like the Arabians in this game. Mama agrees and says Ardennes were used in World War I to haul artillery guns. They were brave and strong. Yeah, they've served in battle all the way back to the Romans. And I'm very happy they're in, that they're in this game. They're just a little too big for my Arthur. I mean, the way I play and in my aesthetics. A little too big. A little too thick. I know some people like thick. Looking at you, O-Dog. Very agile. Odog says, same. A little too big. The Andalusian is my new favorite. Yeah, like the Arabians are too small, and the the Ardennes are too big. But it's a glorious horse. Let's get another one. I had so many Ardennes, Iron Ardennes files on one of my external hard drives. On this one, I love Western Digital hard drives. So I just like migrated them back to the main computer, and we are watching them tonight. Papa One says World War I was a weird type of war. Charging from trench to trench was modern warfare with machine guns, but yet inside the trenches it was like a medieval night fight. Yeah, it was the first industrialized war, and they were still using like Civil War tactics, tactics and strategy from the previous wars. The only thing they did new was dig trenches, which was miserable and horrible. Mr. Maddie says, Happy June, folks. Happy June to you as well, Mr. Maddie. But so many inventions, that's where basically the Air Force was formed. Chemical warfare. But it's like a triangle diamond-shaped blade that is impossible to close and was like immediately outlawed by the Geneva Convention, but they used that. And then there's that trench knife that has like brass knuckles built into it that I've always thought was really cool. I mean, I just want one. Mama One says Arabians are also brave war horses. Napoleon loved them. Red Dead 2 makes them crybabies. I guess Red Dead 2 Arabians are raised for shows. Yeah. Yeah, they're real divas in this game. Serena says, Hi, Antonio. Sorry I'm late. I'm helping clean the house. Finished cleaning the bedroom. Hi, Serena. I missed you. And I know everyone else did as well. Everybody say hi to Serena. Serena says, Hi, everyone. And Miko says, Hello, Serena. Serena, have you heard, and also chat, have you heard of a mystery series from Australia entitled Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries? It is set in Melbourne in the 20s, and she's like this flapper detective. I've been watching it, and it's wonderful. I'm really enjoying it. Super Antonio or Dan says, Super Antonio, what are your three favorite games? Red Dead Redemption 2, The Witcher 3, and then it Probably the Resident Evil franchise. And then there are also like sentimental games I like Life is Strange. What else? Ghost of Tsushima is a beautiful game. I wouldn't put in the top 3, but I would definitely put it in the top 10. And what else? LA Noire, of course. Not in the top 3. I would probably have I'd have to think about it, but one of the Resident Evil games would have to be number 3. Papa One says, I have some horror stories from Vietnam, but I'm so thankful I never had to fight in a trench. Funny, it's World War I, yet the Western Front was only a small area, rarely moving into towns, except in 1918. Serena says, hi, Odog, and hi, Dan. And Serena has not seen Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries. Well, if you can find it, I highly recommend it. Lovely costumes. Rage 10 asks, Super Antonio, what's your favorite outfit for Arthur? The one he's wearing right now. The Super Arthur outfit. Rage 10 says, hi, Starhearts. Papa One says, the 1918 trench knife is an amazing weapon. I have my grandpa's old one. He was issued it in May of 1918. Oh, those are so cool, Papa One. I mean, yeah, they're scary, but yeah, I held one in a pawn shop once, and it was just cool that it just felt so powerful, but also you could feel the history, the history in the blade, and that was fascinating. Serena says, hi, Mr. Maddie, and hi, Rage. Papa One says, hi, Serena, and Mama One says, hi, Serena. Dan says, my first game I played was Skyrim, and also, hi, Serena. Yeah, the only one of those, like, medieval fantasy games that I truly enjoy is The Witcher 3. Rage says, how about the one where Arthur has a red vest? Yes, that's his Clemens Point summer outfit. And I do like that, but, you know, like, Dutch has a red vest, and kind of mad at Dutch right now, so I don't like wearing that vest. And Mr. Maddie says, hi, Serena. Papa One says, how do you have Arthur's hair and facial hair? Knives aren't scary. The man behind the knife is scary. Yes, that's true. I still have my old K-Bar USMC fighting knife. I gave it to my son and used it to let him carry. Yeah, the K-Bar knives. I have a folding Tanto point K-Bar knife. It's by the brand K-Bar, but you know, it's not a K-Bar marine knife. Horta says, I put a lot of hours in Skyrim. And Papa One says, around the farm when he was 5. Hort, do you know Doc Skullhammer? Because he's a Skyrim guy. I wish he was here so you could talk to him about it. Papa One says, around the farm when he was 5. Yeah, I was collecting knives for a while. Here's a Moranif. There.
You're all right, girl.
This is stainless steel. And here's an antique Japanese knife. I made the handle for it. The handle was trash, and this is koa wood. Koa wood is my favorite wood. And what else do we have? You may know Opinel. It's a French blade. This is carbon steel.
I have no money to repay you, but I do have some information that might suit you.
I got a bunch of these.
Skill set.
They're elegant,
Time doctors
and I love them, and they are cheap. However,
heard they use it as a place to
they're kind of flimsy.
maybe you can
I mean,
show
they're like a French steak knife. You know, you're supposed to like bring it to your restaurant in France and use it for your steak knife. But what other knives do? I have a bunch of knives. They're all like scattered around the house. Here's another Opino. This one's stainless steel. Papa once said, oh yeah, okay, Arthur's hair. He has done dreary sideburns level 1 and a handlebar level 1. I keep him like close shaved level 1, and then the forked beard at level 1, and then hair I just kind of keep collar length. Hortus says I've put a lot of hours in Skyrim, and Papa once says around read that. Serena says, I love Arthur with long hair and clean shaven. And Serena says, it's upsetting seeing my grandma like that. I really... Oh, so Serena says, sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I did watch your stream. We were at the hospital visiting my grandma until she goes to the nursing home. Yeah, I'm sorry, Serena. Yeah, that's hard, seeing a loved one in the hospital so helpless like that. But, you know, she's getting the care that she needs. And that's got, you know, you should take some comfort in that. And I have such respect for the nursing profession after I saw just how much care and sympathy and compassion that they give to, you know, that they gave to my mom and my dad. Way more so than the doctors. Doctors are just specialists and kind of a-holes. You know, but, you know, that's their job. Their job is to be detached and just move from problem to problem and to view, like, patients as problems. But nurses are all heart. They're the ones that, like, comfort and care. I love nurses. I have such a respect for the profession. Okay, where are we? Serena said, hi, Hortus, and Hortus says, Madam! And Dan says, Hortus, I play Skyrim for 3 years. Okay, Hortus, Dan Hort. Talk about Skyrim. Rage 10 says, I like Arthur with a beard, but kind of long hair, Star Hearts. Later on in this video, actually, this Arthur has a level 10 beard. What's that about? I mean, it just took so long to get him to level 10, and I made it for a video, so I just keep him at level 10. Papa One says, my wife was upset when she found out that knife was used by me and my friends in combat. Mine is 7.5, but I swapped it to a smaller one for farm life. But my son also seemed to crack the code to my USMC trunk. Mr. Maddie says, I have a 1972 election-themed pocket knife, pearl grips, very small knife. Oh, nice. Papa One says, nice knives. Hortus says, Skyrim is probably in the top 5 of my most played games. Red Dead Redemption 2 is definitely number 1, though. Papa One says, I had an old USMC trunk with letters from my dad, mom, and beautiful wife. Also had some pictures of me in Vietnam with my friends. I had my old yearbook from boot camp, and also a helmet and a bloody bandana my sergeant gave me when he visited me in hospital after I got shot.
Okay, girl.
You're a great writer, Papa One. You should write something. You should write your memories. Oh, and this is the Ardennes versus a bear. He won't, and the Ardennes had enough. And Serena says, yes, she is getting help, seeing her not realizing where she is. And the bear missed us, but he got us on the second one. So we gotta wrestle a bear right now. Talk amongst yourselves. Let me find that K-bar for Papa One. Okay. Here's the K-bar. There it is open. I like Tanto points. And it's got a clip on it.
Let's go, girl.
And then this is a Spyderco. Well, it's Bird, which is Bird is Spyderco's made in China brand, so it is like a third of the price. Like this one from Spyderco would be, you know, like $120, and I got this one for $30. I like the serrated. I like half serrated, and this is my daily carry. Technically, in my state, you're allowed to have a blade that is 4 inches long, or about the length of your finger. But this blade is so cheap, I wouldn't mind if a law enforcement officer confiscated it. I wouldn't raise too much of a fuss. But it's very solid. I use this all the time. I love it. And then I have a buck knife that was given to me by a girlfriend.
Don't you worry about it, okay?
Broke up with her years ago, but I still have the knife. And Serena's Batzaro's here. Batzaro says knives. Yeah, but Batzaro, we were talking about knives, so I showed some of my knife collection. And Batzaro says, howdy, folks. Papa One says, sad thing is my yearbook, out of about 600 Marines, about 75% were killed or MIA. The other 20% wounded horribly. I fall in this category, and 5% lived through the war. Yeah, that's hard, Papa One. But you're here. You survived. And you lived a life. And Dan says, the bear is only sleeping. Yeah, no worries, Dan. That bear is only sleeping. Batzaro says, I have 2 Spyderco knives. Both are great blades. I love Spyderco. I also have a Harpy and a Cricket, which is the tiny one. And Serena says, hi, Batzaro. Oh, I also have this one. I forget what this is called. I've got it on my keys, but I've never seen a bird blade with like a brown finish. I love the finish on this, and it's tiny. So I use this as my keychain. And Sadie's paying attention because I picked up the keys, which means we're going out. Where are we going? I've got the keys. He's got the keys. But he didn't put his shoes on. What's that about? Here. Let's get Sadie to sit up with some potent canine bait. Here she is. Say hi to Mama One and Papa One and Horridus and Dan and Serena. Everybody's here tonight. 12 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Papa One says, that is awesome. I'm a huge knife nerd. I've had people make knives for me, but as of now, my everyday knife is an old-timey pocket knife. My dad gave it to me for my 10-year anniversary of coma recovery. Dan says, here in England, if you get caught carrying a pocket knife, you get a big fine. It is against the law to have a knife on you. Yeah, Dan, what's going on in your country right now? You need to vote. Momo says hello. Greetings, Momo. And Batzaro says, glad you're with us, Papa. May your brothers rest easy, as I wish to my brothers lost in Iraq. Rage asks, what breed is your dog, Super Antonio? She's a mutt. She's a mix of Pit Bull and Labrador and German Shepherd. And Mama One says, hi, Sadie, and Cloudy's here. And Cloudy says, howdy. Also, I forgot, I also have a Damascus steel blade. Hold on, let me find that. Let me put these things back. So I have this Damascus steel skinner, also with a koa handle, koa wood handle. Koa is my favorite wood. So I bought the whole blade off eBay. It's a full tang, and then I put the handle on it. It was a COVID project, but yeah. So I just use this in the kitchen to like chop stuff, and also to open Amazon packages. That's pretty much the most usage my knives get, is opening Amazon packages. And if you do that, if for people who are doing that, using your knife for that, be sure to wash your knife, or at least wipe it down, because those packages are filthy. 18 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. We're kind of hanging out at Hanging Dog Ranch. Serena says hi, Momo, and Serena says hi, Cloudy, and Papa One says my everyday carry is a 1911. Oh, I love the 1911s. They served our country well. Or a Springfield XD 9mm compact. I have to have a weapon on me at all times. If not, I have a PTSD fit. And Momo says hello, Star Hearts. And Papa and Batzaro says, Papa, fellow knife nerd. I'm in the middle of making my own knife with the guidance of a bladesmith I met. 4-inch hunting knife. Cloudy says, howdy, Star. And Rage Ted says, hi, Momo. And Momo says, hello, guys. And Papa One says to Batzaro, I appreciate this. Thank you for your service in Iraq. Welcome home, my friend. If you don't mind me asking what branch you were in, I was a jarhead. Dan says, too much stabbing here. Yeah, I could never actually stab anyone. I could maybe cut them, maybe. Like, knives are personal. You gotta get in close. You gotta, like, smell them. If I'm gonna, like, get in a conflict, I'll, like, kick you. I'm not afraid of fighting. I've sparred. I've been hit in the face. I've boxed. I've done martial arts. I've sparred a bunch. I know what it's like to be physically in a fight, but I've never pulled. Even though I do carry a knife, it's mostly for like confidence and just self-assurance and a what-if situation. But I've never had cause to use it or to pull it out in that kind of conflict. I'm really good at avoiding conflict. What's that about? And Serena says, supposed to be a new Tomb Raider game out. I think I saw the trailer. I think I'll be scared to play that game, even though I played Rise of the Tomb Raider. You will not be scared, Serena, and I think you should play it. Serena says, hi, Sadie, beautiful lady. And Sadie's very sad about your grandma, Serena, and she wishes she could be there so your grandma could pet her. And Batzaro says, Papa One, I was Army. Thank you for your service as well. Yeah, shout out to Batzaro. Thank you for your service. And Batzaro says, all my knives but one are tools. Yeah, but they're tools and also art. That's what I like. Kind of like guitars. But this one, it's Damascus, so you gotta keep it clean and oiled. But I mostly use it just to like. The last time I used this was to chop up a banana for this one. Dan says, no, here in England, special down in London, every day is a stabbing. Yeah, it's you got to vote that mayor out. What's his name? Sadiq Khan? Why do I know that? 19 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you. And Serena says, thank you, Antonio and Sadie and everyone. And Papa One, Hortus says, might be a smaller Turok game out, but there's a big, supposedly open world one set in India in development, but it hasn't even been properly revealed. Interesting, Hort. And Papa One says, Batzaro, I had a couple of friends who were in the Army. They were special forces from 5th SFG. They saved our asses many times, no matter which branch we served. We were all brothers. Even the Coast Guard, LOL. Yeah. Even the Coast Guard. That poor horse. We shouldn't have charged her in there like that, but I was thinking of making a video out of it, or a short out of it. And as long as we're here, we might as well collect supplies. And Arthur meant to do that. Cloudy said, I had a knife that looked like a gun. I lost it a few years back. It cost me $100. Around this time period, 1899, there was a knife gun combo called an Apache. And it was like, and they're really cool looking, but it's basically a handle with brass knuckles and a knife that folds out, and the handle is also has like a 22 or something. You can look it up. I believe it was single shot or double shot. It was kind of like just imagine a Derringer and brass knuckles and a folding knife all in one weapon. And you know, it's like, let's combine all three of them and make, as opposed to like having all three on your person, which makes more sense, I think. But I like gadgets. I like the idea. And Arthur doesn't like flan. Papa One says, Super Antonio, are you a big gun fan? I love them. When I was eventually released from the hospital in the 70s, I could only understand horses and guns. That's one reason why my dad and I were close. I wouldn't say a big gun fan, but I'm familiar with them and I've been around them, and I've had a lot of friends who were like gun nerds and gun fans. And I believe in the Second Amendment. It's Congress should make no law. No law is no law. Momo says, sorry, Cloudy. I was probably really awesome looking. It was probably really awesome looking. Well, Momo, you are also awesome looking. And Batzaro says, Papa One, I'm used to jarheads. Out of 5 cousins who joined the military, 4 went Marines. Holidays are hell, and the CG is just crazy, folks. LOL. Cloudy says, it looked like a Smith & Wesson, LOL. Yeah, in addition to Colt 1911, of course, I like the Colt Peacemaker. Samuel Colt. Mama One says, I always thought an interesting story would be having an Arthur-type character, but he's raised by Colm instead. Colm had a few men he really trusted. Would have been interesting to see his redemption. Yeah, that's a great idea, Mama One. Like Arthur's counterpart. Yeah, Colm is kind of one-dimensional. You could have fleshed him out. You killed his brother, Dutch. And then, the Lemoyne Raiders, you don't really get any personalities there. They're all interchangeable. Same with the Del Lobos, except for, of course, Flacco. Well, actually, you do get some personalities with the Del Lobos. But the Murphy Brood, they could have had, some kind of, I'm thinking a matriarch, some kind of, scary, inbred, obese mother fertility goddess living in the cave, demanding to be fed and worshipped. Let's go see how the Ardennes performs against cougars. Spoiler alert, quite well. Got my green tea. Serena, did you have your Your afternoon tea, I hope you're remembering to eat. You still need to eat. Being sad burns calories. Momo says, that would be really cool. That would be cool. I'd really like to see Red Dead's story from Colm's point of view. Cloudy said, Super Antonio, if you were in the world of Red Dead, what would you be doing? I'd be hanging out in Saint Denis. It's too scary out here. I'd be hanging out at the hotel, flirting with the bath ladies and playing poker. Hortus says, I want Rockstar to do a medieval game. There were rumors, like, during COVID that they were working on something like that, which would have been fantastic. But I do think, honestly, Hort, the best medieval game out there is Witcher 3. Mom One says, Colm is just there to give them a rival, LOL. Dutch seems to love having a nemesis. Yes, he does. And Papa One says, we are gun nuts in our home. I have so many, I don't even count them anymore. I taught my son to shoot starting at 4. He also started learning to ride horses at 4. And Serena says, well said, Mama. I like to see the bit where Dutch and Colm were allies once. Like to see how that played out. Yeah, if we do a prequel, if they do a prequel, the young Dutch and a young Hosea, I bet you Colm will be involved. There's the cougar. And no worries, that cougar is only sleeping right between the eyes. And for a second, I forgot that we're not doing a Bad Honor playthrough here. That NPC has no idea how close he came to getting decapitated by the sawed off. Cloudy says, with the vampire, yes, that's true. And Serena says, Micah was the rat. Maybe Abigail. Not Abigail. I don't like that theory. Don't tell Abigail. Horta says, there's a handful of medieval games on the horizon I'm interested in, like Crimson Desert. And Mr. Maddie says, imagine Rockstar making a space game. That would be fascinating. Papa One says, my dad and I got a close bond, more so after I got shot than before. He helped teach me everything from reading to shooting to riding horses. My other brothers never took to horses like I did. That's because you're a sensitive and kind soul, Papa One. And horses can sense that. Serena, Sadie had a bath tonight. She's smelling very good. And she was kind of smelling horsey last night. I told her, I said, you really need a bath. And if this persists, I might have to start giving her baths twice a week. Because, wow. Momo says, that was the first time I saw the Ardennes buck a player off. Well, she's a new Ardennes. I mean, she's barely level 1. Fresh from the stable. Batzaro says, I just want Rockstar to release a Red Dead 3 tease where you play as Micah, but it's just April Fools. The internet would burn. It would indeed. And Papa One says, my dad loved me and my wife so much because we worked together. My other 2 brothers said that I was Dad's favorite and were always jealous. They hated that he left me and Mama One the farm. Yeah, that's hard, the sibling rivalry. And Serena says, ah, how cute. Love you, Sadie. Sadie loves you. Odog is leaving. Odog says later and be well. Appreciate you, Odog. You have a great weekend. I hope you're feeling better, friend. And Dan says, I think it was Abigail, how the agents knew how to find Arthur when he went fishing with Jack. I think they were hot on the trail of Dutch and they just came across him. Happenstance. They were so close to Horseshoe Overlook. Serena says, bye, Odog. Be well, take care, and good night. Mr. Maddie says, I think what I want is an LA Noire sequel, but it will never happen. And Batzaro says, night, Odog. Oh, Serena, I wanted to talk to you about your Mafia short, your Mafia driving short. You should think about changing the title to something like Epic Crashes or driving crashes, funny crashes, and also fun like epic crashes in Mafia 2 or Mafia 4 with whatever the model of that car is. You know, with the Dodge, with a 1954 Dodge Premium, Dodge Dart, or Dodge, you know, whatever you're driving, if you know the model of that car. Also, you should do an LA Noir driving short if you still have access to that footage. And also, don't listen to anything I say. I don't really know what I'm talking about. But maybe change your title, your short title. Papa One says, but we worked it with him for years and lived together. My dad was never embarrassed about having to teach his 21-year-old son everything. Him and his wife were the only two that were never ashamed. And that's Zara says, yes, Maddie. And Mr. Maddie says, Nido dog. Serena says, I was going to put that. I sure wasn't thinking, LOL, not sure of the car model of the cars. Yeah, if you can look that up, the algorithm likes specifics, but it also likes, for that type of video, funny epic crash, like funny epic crashes in Mafia 1 or whatever Mafia you're playing. It likes those words for that type of video. And Mama One says, I mean, the whole gang were wanted criminals, much less just committed a massacre during Blackwater. Papa One, you honor your father's memory every day. With your farm, with your work on your farm, carrying on his legacy. You are his legacy. And Serena, I had a quote from Hemingway, Ernest Hemingway, one of my favorite authors. It's from Whom the Bell Tolls. Let me look it up again so I can get it right. It applied. I thought of you. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are strong at the broken places. So, basically, you know, it's another way of saying that which does not kill you makes you stronger. But I know you're feeling down and broken right now, but understand that you'll become stronger in those broken places. And Dan's checking out. Appreciate you, Dan. It's late for Dan. Shout out to Dan, channel member Dan Constantin Popescu, who says, everyone have a blessed Sunday. You too as well, Dan. Appreciate you being here, friend. Papa One says, I wish this channel and all of you were around when I was a younger man. This is truly the only place beside my parents and wife and son that I feel I can open up and no one thinks lower of me. Well, you know, of course no one's going to think lower of you, Papa One. We're happy to have you here, and you add wisdom and experience to the chat and this community. You're a valued member. And Papa One says, you make an old man happy and inspire me to keep going harder and harder. Well, you make all of us happy, Papa One. And definitely happy you're here. Dan says, okay, time for me to hit the pillow. Yes, Dan. And Serena says, okay, Dan, be well. Good night. And Momo says, same here, Papa. This is footage for a short that we shall entitle something like A Friendly Iron Gray Ardennes, or perhaps The Friendly Iron Gray Ardennes in Red Dead Redemption 2. I like these front views, front angles for shorts, but you don't really get a perspective on the size and massiveness of this beast. And Serena says, happy to have you here, Papa One. And that is a level 10 beard. That's his beardy beard that you can get for Arthur. The Mama one says, Serena, my prayers are with you, darling. Wish I could be there to support you during these times. If you really need me, I can always get a plane ticket. Well, if she's in Australia, Mama one, that is a long ride. Serena, I saw a horrible video of a giant snake that was like crawling, that was like dangling from like a patio roof and was like curling up this giant bird. That it was, also if Miko's still in the chat. Yeah, it was just some giant horrible looking snake in Australia. Moma says, what happened to Serena? Her grandma is not well. And Miko says, respect to Papa One. My grandpa was a lieutenant colonel in World War II. And that's about all I have for you tonight, friends. Appreciate you being here. Happy Saturday. Shout out to the mods. Papa One, thank you for your service. Same with you, Batzaro. Thank you for your service. Happy Memorial Day. Serena, Mama One, O-Dog, Gone But Not Forgotten. Tomorrow we will debut Sinister Sundays. What else? I've got a new short out on the second channel from Pulp Fiction, another Pulp Fiction quote. And I suppose that's about it. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Krypton 920 says, have a good night. You as well, Mr. Krypton. I like your username. Serena says, awesome stream, Antonio. Serena, you are an awesome stream. Thank you, friends. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your views. And I shall